Hi, this is Sniz with Bloodbane, Ward 11, Lord of Ultima. This is part 2 to my basic offensive mechanics video. Picking up on the last video, we just pretty well in the last part covered the basic mechanics of how assaults versus sieges work, how forces arriving from the same castle join sieges, and how two different sieges from two different castles interact with one another with their defenses. Now I'm going to go ahead and advance to the next example here, and let's kind of apply these principles now to what I call a wipe and conquer. This is where there's a castle and we want to conquer that castle. So just as a very basic attack, the first thing I would do is I would send an assault. Let's say that arrived at 8:05. I'll just use those 8:05, 8:06 times just to give you an idea of arrival times. So the first thing I do is I send a big assault force, and the idea is my perfect assault is just enough to wipe their entire defensive force out. And as soon as they hit, they return with the resources, and that's it. Now, behind that, scheduled to arrive 1 minute later, let's say I send another 80,000 Zerks from a different castle on siege. They arrive at 8:06, and also typically launched earlier because it takes a heck of a lot longer for the Baron to arrive. I schedule the Baron to arrive at 8:07. Now, the key to this is the Baron is not exposed to attack until 9:06. Oh, shoot. I gotta go back one now. Previous. Okay, so the Baron is not scheduled to arrive until 9:06. The Baron's not even subject to attack. So what you get with the defenses in place is you get that opening assault from Castle 1 that clears out hopefully most or all of their defenses, and then your main attack force from Castle 2 arrives, and the first wave faces their defenses without having the Baron in the mix. Then at 9:06, now your Baron's in the mix, and he begins conquering. 9:06 he gets 10%, 10:06 he gets 20%, and so on. Night Protection reduces those amounts, and it looks like some upcoming researching in the new patch may increase that gain rate. Anyway, so that's just a basic wipe and conquer. You've got the opening assault, cracks their defenses, and two separate siege forces that arrive, merge, and conquer the castle. They reach 100%. The castle's now yours. Now, one of my favorites is because a lot of times we've been trying not to... Well, first of all, I hate most people build crappy castles, and I'd rather build my own. And also, we haven't been wanting castles on water tiles as much, although that's starting to change. So we've been doing a lot of wipe, destroy, and conquer. The idea with that attack form is, again, the opening attack arrives and leaves with their resources. The first siege arrives at 8:06. And this is, I'll pre-program this with my minister. I believe strongly in ministers. But so my first, let's say this is 50k Zerks to cover my Katas, Rams, and Barons. It's just enough to where they aren't taking heavy losses and keeps their you know, they tend to trickle in defenses once you wipe out their opening. So anyway, so let's say I send 50k Zerkers after wiping their entire defenses out just to sit on them. At 8:07, my Baron arrives, joins the siege, and he's now part of the... Or excuse me, that's not my Baron, that's Katas and Rams. So I scheduled the Katas and Rams to arrive at 8:07. So at 9:06, 10:06, 11:06, the Katas and Rams are just beating away at it. Then let's say at 13:07 I had scheduled for the Baron to arrive. The Baron arrives at 13:07. He doesn't begin he isn't part of the attacks until the 14:06 attack frame. So what you have here is the assault hits, cracks their defenses. The first siege force, which is troop killers, arrives at 8:06. They get one wave in without any Katas and Rams in the mix, and then by the 9:06 wave, you've got your Zerkers continuing to kill anything that is sent in. You've got Katas and Rams tearing down walls and towers. And that happens at 9:06, 10:06, 11:06, 12:06, and 13:06. At 13:07, the Baron joins the siege. So at 14:06, now you've got Katas and Rams and Zerkers, oh my, along with your Baron at 14:06, advancing your power of claim. So then 10 to 12 to maybe 13 hours after this, your Baron will capture it. And what I've been doing a lot is the goal is to have it 7 pointed, and as soon as it's 7 pointed, you capture it, you abandon it, and it decays in an hour or two. It's the best way to get rid of it. If you just capture it and abandon it, you can leave a castle, a lawless castle sitting there that maybe somebody else wants to grab. where and if you capture it, and I've done some deconstruction projects where I'll capture it and I'll try to basically demolish their buildings and ship out the resources. That takes days and days and days because the construction speed sucks and their design sucks. So in terms of just eliminating a castle, the most efficient method I've found is send your cover force, have the Catizen Rams immediately follow that, have your Baron arrive. This is a little bit of math, but kind of try to calculate how long you think it'll take, depending on the score of the city, how long it'll take your Catizen Rams to tear everything down, and basically schedule your Baron to arrive 10 to 12 hours before that, so that perfect assault is it gets 7 pointed the next wave. It's basically being conquered in the same wave that it's being 7 pointed. You cap it, you release it, and it goes away, and 2 hours later it's an empty tile. So that's pretty much it for what I wanted to do for this video. There's a lot that, like I said, I haven't even really had an opportunity to use most of the stuff I've got in store for our enemies in the future. But so far, that is what I just covered there, just those basics. And understanding those basics and using those synergies of the different attack styles and whatnot has been leaps and bounds beyond any sophistication level I've found to anyone yet in the game. So hopefully that changes soon. In the meantime, if you guys kind of start to incorporate a lot of these mechanics, we'll have a huge advantage. Also, one thing I wanted to mention, hopefully most people do this, is on a city now, if you click an enemy city, you can click a show reports button. Now, if any one of our alliance members have attacked that target, you can view their reports if they've shared them. I recommend everybody setting their reports to sharing with other members of the alliance. This is great to be able to see if somebody else has already scouted or attacked the target, or possibly even actively sieging a target you're thinking about sending troops to. It's also helpful, you can scroll through, although most of the people I've crushed, the city's gone because I did cap and release them. There's some castles around. You can kind of see some of these attacks. You can look at the actual reports. Also, after tonight's patch, I'm pretty sure we are going to have more detail on those reports, so that'll be interesting to see. In the meantime, enjoy. I'm done doing videos tonight. Hopefully I'll be back to doing more faster than it took me this last time, but sometime in the next couple weeks hopefully I'll do some more. In the meantime, enjoy and see you in game.